Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat basketball channel. My name is Amir, and before I get into today's video, I just want to thank everybody for the continued support of my channel. If you could please subscribe to the channel and like, share, and comment this video, I would really appreciate it. It'll definitely help with the YouTube algorithm. So, a recent report came out this week that the Portland Trail Blazers are still not in contact or willing to negotiate with the Miami Heat in terms of the Damian Lillard trade sweepstakes. So Joe Cronin and the Blazers front office are playing this game of chicken, and they are not willing to budge during these dog days of summer. And Miami Heat fans or the organization itself in front office are getting frustrated with this delay. So Damian Lillard has continued to say that the only team he wants to play for is the Miami Heat, obviously. And that has basically made the league not put out any offers for him because no one wants to trade for Damian Lillard if he doesn't want to play for their organization. And the other factors that I've mentioned before in other videos is that Damian Lillard is an aging superstar. He's 33. He has 4 years left on a $210 million contract, and he's going to be paid $67 million in his age 36 or 37 year. And so not a lot of teams have the right pieces that will work with Damian Lillard, that will put them over the hump without having to trade significant pieces, depth, assets. So right now the Miami Heat's offer so far is not the greatest offer, and the Trailblazers obviously don't like this offer. But the only issue there is with the Portland Trailblazers is this is the only offer, so it's the best offer. And so I'm assuming Miami's willing to budge eventually and add in one more piece to finally get this done, as long as the Trailblazers are willing to have a conversation with us. But I think Miami might be willing to add a tiny sweetener in there if it means acquiring Dame before training camp late in September. But right now the Portland Trailblazers for some reason are waiting this out, and I don't know why exactly they're waiting this out, because I don't think they have much leverage outside of having the player, but the player doesn't want to be there anymore, obviously. So they are not going to want to bring back Damian Lillard, who's going to be, one, disgruntled with the team even further, but also he can stunt the growth of their young backcourt and kind of slow down their rebuild. So how's Scoot and Simons and Sharp going to feel when Damian's there? So I don't understand what they're truly waiting for. I know Miami has some leverage. Portland technically has some leverage, but I still think Miami has more leverage than Portland because Dame only wants to go there, right? So there's no other offer out there on the market for Dame. So they've put out an offer, which is very reasonable. I don't need to go into that, mention that many times. But yeah, it's just frustrating that Portland is holding out. And I think the biggest thing and the person with the most leverage in this scenario is Damian Lillard. So Barry Jackson mentioned that he thinks that Damian is the one that has the most leverage and he can make this ugly, essentially. I don't know if he's going to go the route that James Harden has done in the past, but then also just recently last week where he called out Daryl Morey saying that he's never going to play for him, he's a liar, and blah, 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 blah. So I don't think Dame has the same character as James Harden. I don't know if he would make it that messy, but I think he needs to say something to Portland because right now Portland has the expectation that he is going to show up. He said no matter where I get traded to, or if Portland for some reason keeps me, he said a few weeks ago, he would even show up to Portland for training camp. So he's not that type of player like James Harden to just cry his way out of a situation or force his way out of a situation and burn bridges. So but I think he needs to start burning bridges, saying that Joe Cronin is a liar. He lied to me. He said he was going to avoid a rebuild. He was going to add some star talent here, try to build a contending team. He didn't do any of that. So maybe if he just comes out and says that, I'm frustrated, I don't want to play for a liar. I don't know if he would want to go the route that James Harden did and call his GM a liar. But I think he needs to make it slightly messy, perhaps. If Dame really wants to go to Miami and only Miami, I think he needs to say something. He needs to say it either directly or indirectly through Chris Haynes. I don't know. I think he just needs to say something or do something. in order to move this. But again, I'm patient. Like, we know that Damian Lillard only wants to go to the Heat, and I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty damn sure most Heat fans believe it's going to happen, and there's still plenty of time. We're not even close to September 29th right now. We have 5-6 weeks until training camp. So, I mean, there's still plenty of time. This can happen in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, which would be annoying, but it could still happen before camp. But what frustrates me and I think is annoying is just James Harden. I hate him the most out of any current NBA player. He's just ridiculous and always gets his way. But it's just kind of funny how when the NBA sent that memo to Dame and his agent saying that, you can't say one team or you can't say you're not going to show up. I think the biggest misconception was saying that you only want to go to one team, because James Harden clearly has said and has continued to say he only wants to go to the Clippers. And so I don't think it was that. In the memo, it said that he can't say he's not going to show up for a team if he gets traded. And so that's where he came out with his agent saying, hey, we didn't say that we won't show up. We will. He will show up and probably not be happy, but there's a difference. But Harden basically is saying the same thing, though. He's saying, I will not show up to the Sixers camp. He's like, I will never play for Daryl Morey or any organization he's a part of again. And he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. So he is basically saying, I'm not going to show up. And he basically said, like, do you think you can fix this or whatever and come back? He's like, no, obviously not. At this point, he's burned that bridge completely. So why is the NBA not coming out and putting out a memo for James Harden? Like, that was 2 days ago, 3 days ago when this happened. So I don't know why they make Dame the poster child for all this crap, but I just think that's funny too. But Dame doesn't need to go that route completely to throw Joe Cronin and the Blazers under the bus that detrimentally, but I think he needs to say something that he's tired and frustrated and wants to be traded. So I think the ball is in Dame's court to help expedite this. Otherwise, the ball is in Portland's court, of course, and we're just waiting for them to pick up the phone and negotiate. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys still think it's a lock that Damian's going to be traded to the Heat? Do you think the Blazers are eventually going to wake up and trade him to the Heat before the deadline? Let me know what you guys think. Thanks again. I'll talk to you soon.